Beautiful. So welcome to tonight's webinar. And tonight's webinar is entitled Reasons Are Adult Versions of Excuses. So let's stop getting in our own way. I've been really looking forward to tonight's webinar and sharing some insights with you. And I do trust that they will be helpful. So there we have, this is me. Sorry, my chat box is in the way. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Yep, that's me happening right there. So my name is Karen Thompson. I have a background of early childhood and also emotional behavioural strategist. And so I work with individuals and businesses in helping businesses with leadership within their business and also staff wellbeing and staff retention, and I work with individuals on a personal level to help them with any blockages, so mindset transformation, where you might be struggling in particular areas, and so we work together in one-to-one coaching, and I do that over the phone, through Skype, or even face-to-face. I'm also a Reiki practitioner, so for my Melbourne-based clients, I'm able to use Reiki as an additional tool to my coaching. Okay, so all right, let's get going. So you are here because you know that you have another level of you. There is always room for personal growth. There's always something that we want to achieve more within ourselves, and that's why you're here. That's why you're curious, you have a sense of curiosity, and that's important within our own lives. So we do have curiosity about what we can achieve and what we can learn more about ourselves. Now, perhaps you want to know more about how you can be true to yourself. I've been traveling a journey of learning about how to be self-nurturing, how to achieve self-love, and how to achieve self-trust. And in that journey, I've been able to learn more about who I truly am. Now, what is Karen's inner core and what is her passion? And that has been an absolute awesome journey. And yeah, our journey never ends. So it's continuing every day, which is just fantastic. So have you ever had a dream to be more? Experience more or do more? I think I'm always having that dream. You know, there's always something that I want to achieve more of. I want to be able to embrace learning. I want to share what I'm learning with others so that the people around me that I'm sharing these messages with can have their own personal growth. So it's always that I'm wanting to give more and do more. And all for the higher good. So do you feel sometimes you're hiding and so people don't catch you out? You give reasons why you cannot be more than you are right now. So we might relate that to study, or perhaps a change of career, or it might be a relationship with family or friends. And we just give reasons. We give reasons why we can't do something. It's very rare that we actually give reasons why we can. We do focus a lot on the negative and why we can't do something, which is quite sad when you think about it. So do you want to stop giving yourself reasons for not achieving? What would it be like to give yourself reasons for why you can achieve? So let's reframe it. Let's turn it around and start giving yourself reasons for why you can do this. That would seem so much better, and definitely on the journey of self-care, self-love, and self-trust. Now, whatever brought us here has brought you here. We're going to share a commitment to ourselves and to our future selves tonight. So we're going to be thinking and getting deep about, why do we do this? Why do we call them reasons when they're actually, they're excuses that we're giving ourselves why we can't do something. So if you want, maybe it's a quick fix. Maybe you want me to put a Band-Aid over your sore that you're feeling right now, or perhaps you want me to wave a magic wand. You want to do a little, but you want to get a lot out of it. Well, for me to let you continue to make your excuses, well, that's not going to happen. Okay, so I'm all about you. I'm here to support you, and I want you to have growth. So if you're thinking along those lines, well, perhaps this is not the webinar for you. And I'll say thank you for attending, and you can continue your journey of giving yourself those reasons. But if it's not, I encourage you to stay on this journey with me and see how you can improve your life by stop giving yourself those excuses. So let's get down to this. What are we going to do? We're going to explore how to create the life that you want. Have you ever thought about what life you wanted? That if you woke up tomorrow morning and everything was as you wanted it to be, what would it look like? What would it feel like? What would you be hearing around you? What would you be telling yourself if you woke up tomorrow and you had your ideal life? I wonder what that would be. So let's share the ultimate truth and let's face your shadow self. So when I say shadow self, this is the shadow that you're living in. It's full of those excuses. But I want you to move into your authentic self, your true self. Tap into what your true passion is. Because if we're doing anything less, life is very precious and sometimes life can be very short. So why would we waste all of this time giving ourselves excuses why we cannot do things? So let's explore how you can do this and you can grow. So this is ideal for you tonight if you want to love yourself more, to stop the excuses. Are you looking to add love and value to those around you? And are you ready to experience more of your potential? So if you're tired of being easily overwhelmed with obstacles that you consistently see in your pathway, that you have persistent stress in your life and that's what you feel is your focus because it's just one thing after another. When we give ourselves excuses, it's got nothing to do with the environment that's around us. It's our thinking. It's our mindset. We choose to give ourselves these reasons, adult excuses. And quite often we're actually stuck in what we call a survival mode, that we're doing what we can to get through the day, and whichever way the wind blows on that day, that's going to have an impact on you. Now, there is a problem. You get sucked into the continuous story that you tell yourself. Whatever you are telling yourself, this is your reality. So why not change what you are telling yourself? You tell yourself you don't know what to do. If you're thinking of a particular decision that you've had to make, you say, oh, I don't really know what to do, don't know how to get it started, and then it doesn't get started. You are manifesting doubt in yourself by saying, oh, what's the point? I can't do that. I'll probably fail. Now, these are all excuses. They're not reasons for not doing something. These are excuses for you so that you don't give it a go. We always have fear. Look, there's fear all the time. Don't get me wrong. You know, there's fear with every new thing that I try. But I know that fear is never going to go away. There's always going to be fear of something new, a new challenge. But when I push through that fear, I'm going to have that sense of accomplishment of, I gave it a go and it worked. And the joy that you feel within yourself by allowing yourself to give it a go, rather than saying, what's the point? You know, I don't know what to do. We live surrounded by self-doubt, where we constantly tell ourselves that something, it's too difficult, that now is not the right time. I need to wait until it is the right time. I cannot possibly do this now. And we lack the ability to say, I can. We live with exhausting self-criticism and endless focus on, you know, yourself. It's considered normal. But just because everybody else is doing it, does that make it right? Often you're surrounded by people doing the exact same thing, and that's why you see it as normal, because you look around and, you know, everybody else has that same self-doubt and same question. Oh, look, I don't know if I could do that. No, it's not the right time. Don't really have the money. There are many excuses that we give ourselves. We feed ourselves excuses why it won't work. Why don't we turn that around and give us reasons why it will work? Too many people want solutions that are easy, that take no effort, that require little commitment. Where's the challenge and sense of variety there? And where's the sense of achievement? And these people who think along those lines, you know, wonder why they're giving themselves excuses. So because of this, you often don't do the internal work that will give you the lasting happiness and fulfillment that you say that you want. You say that you want success, you want abundance in wealth, in love, in health, in meaning, a sense of purpose. But you're not doing the internal work that is allowing you to focus on that abundance. Sorry, I'm just... That's okay, Maria, not a problem. It's all good. So instead, you give yourself reasons why it is a waste of time. So the solution, you know, it's time to stop disguising your excuses and trying to pass them off as valid reasons. Now, for some, you know, this is a journey that is just too scary. It's just too hard. You know, perhaps you would rather stay in the shadows than find out who you truly are. And I can say that I was in that part of that journey for a long time. You know, I was staying in the shadows of what was expected of me as a wife, as a mother, not exploring my true self, my true passion. But in recent years, I've been able to dig deep and find out who I truly am. Now, for many others, there is an evolution occurring where they are wanting to self-explore and they're wanting to learn more about themselves, learning more about their passion. So tell me, are you going to sit up straight and stop the excuses? Love yourself enough to cut through the BS and be honest. That's your challenge. If you don't treat yourself like a diamond, nobody else will. You need to have that self-care, that self-trust, the self-love, so that you can then receive that in return. So I'd like you to try this on for size. I'm too busy. I have other things to do. I'll get to it later. I have no support. I don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed. I'm too stressed. It's going to take too long. I'm too tired. Others come first. What if I fail? What's the point? It's hard. Of course it's hard. Anything worth doing is always hard. It's always difficult. But it's when we reach that outcome that it is so rewarding. So what are your reasons? Now I'm going to call you on this. As in nothing less than excuses. So I'm wondering what yours are. So please, tell me more excuses. Think of something that you're wanting to do or you have been wanting to do, but you've been feeding yourself a reason or an excuse why you can't do that or why you couldn't. So I'd love to see in the chat box any excuse that you've been feeding yourself which enabled you to self-sabotage what you truly wanted to do. Yep, don't have everything in place yet, so I can get started. That's it. All my ducks are not lined up. Everything's not perfect in order for me to do this. Those ducks are never going to be lined up. We never have. There's always a gust of wind that blows those poor little ducks over and they're scrambling to find their feet. There's always going to be something. That wind will blow. You know, the elements will change around you. Everything will not be all lined up. There is no perfect time. There's always something that you could focus on. We're focusing on the excuses. Yeah, beautiful. Don't have enough information yet. This is an analogy that I used in my last webinar last week. Depending what your spiritual faith is, but I did use heaven as a reference. And if one door said heaven and the other door said lecture about heaven, what door do you think you'd go through? Do you think you would open up the door to heaven, or do you think that you would open up the door to find out more about what happens when you get to heaven? We live a life. Definitely door number 2. We live a life of gathering information. You know, I spent a whole year sitting safely behind my computer, collecting information, being distracted by the shiny things. You know, you're right. It's crazy. Why do we do it? Why are we so scared to not take that step? Because we tell ourselves that we are not worthy or it's not the right time. We don't have trust within ourselves that we can handle that situation. You know, it's a lack of self-trust. It's running your life. The shiny things are great. Don't get me wrong there, but they can be a distraction. And and we can always take a lot of things out of those shiny things, but it's the focus. What are we placing our focus on? And I'll talk about that in a couple of slides to come. So yes, we do feed ourselves with more excuses. Well, I want that to be the old way for you. I want you to create a new way of thinking. Let go of those excuses. Think of what you want to achieve and say to yourself, I can do this. I have trust within myself that this is where I am meant to be right now. And that everything that I have within me is going to allow me and give me the, and I'll use the sense power, everything that I have within me right now is going to give me the power to do what I want to achieve. It's a change of mindset, and that's how simple it is. You know, what you believe has an impact on your ability to achieve that goal. So where are you right now? So let's look at cause and effect. And I refer to this as above the line or below the line. What that means is that if we're living below the line, we're letting life happen to us. Okay, we're living at effect. It's happening to us. We have no control. We live our life blaming. We have excuses. We're in denial. And you know what? Looking at that acronym, we may as well stay in bed. Yeah? Or are we going to raise the bar, live above the line, live at cause? We're going to take ownership. We're going to have accountability and responsibility and know that we have the oars of our boat, that we are in control of where our boat is going to go. Lovely. I'm glad you're living above the line. A little bit worried about most of the time though. Okay, so let's work on that one. Where do you want to be? If you want to be living above the line all of the time. I know I certainly do. And you know, it's not easy. It takes work to be accountable for your own life. And nobody's handing it to you on a silver platter. So it does take hard work, but that's where the sense of achievement is, when we can look back and we can see what we have accomplished. And I find that that is extremely rewarding. Here we go. This is about the focus, what I was talking about before, what we focus on. It's a very common phrase. What we focus on is what we get. And you'll hear Tony Robbins. He is a fantastic speaker, trainer, facilitator on human behavior and mindset transformation. What we focus on is what we get. So if I gave you an example of, I was looking to buy a car. And so I ended up buying a red Camry. So I thought, well, don't really see many red Camrys on the road. I had previously driven a little black Yaris, Toyota Yaris. And so you noticed black cars everywhere because that's what I was driving and that's what my focus was on. So I thought, oh, red's a good colour. I haven't seen many of the red Camry LTs, so yeah, I'll go with that one. You know, I'll be the only one on the road. Wow, wasn't the only one on the road. The moment that I was driving my red Camry, you know how many red Camrys I saw on the road? Because that was now my focus to the exclusion of everything else. And I saw it everywhere. Another example just happened to me yesterday. So I've been visiting a lot of businesses to offer my services and leaving my business cards. And I thought, well, I should really, leaving them at coffee shops and other places where my tribe hang out. I'd never noticed so much that there were so many business cards being left at these coffee shops until I decided, well, that was something that I should do. So I was putting my focus on it. And then once I did, I started noticing all the business cards from all the other local businesses. So yeah, it's really true. Pardon me. Ah, beautiful. Yeah. Good way of thinking, good reframing. Similar experience to the last two cars. Then when I started thinking about a luxury car, started seeing them more often. Beautiful. I hope that you pictured yourself in that luxury car. So let's move on to this one. So what we focus is what we get. We give meaning to that. So what we are focusing on, that brings our emotions, and we give that meaning. So for example, someone might say something to you at work, and you might take it in a way that it offended you. Straight away, based on your emotion that you are feeling from that comment, you gave that meaning that whatever was said was actually something or a comment made against you. And then because of that meaning that you're placing on what you're focusing on, that comment that was made, maybe you then reacted with a comment back at that person, or maybe you just didn't feel like talking to them for the rest of the day. And then that created a result, that created an outcome. So that then became distance between yourself and another colleague, all because the focus that you placed on a comment that they've said. Now, I've had that before. I've had negative comments made at work, and I sit back and I think, okay, wow, they must have something really going on for them right now to make a comment like that. The meaning that I gave it was that it was their problem. They had something significant going on in their life right now that brought them to the point of making that comment. It wasn't about me. And I've experienced that with gossiping, which is very prominent in early childhood. That, once I heard a colleague actually talking about me to someone else, but they didn't know that I was within earshot. And I heard what was being said. And so the meaning that I gave it was that, wow, this person really needs to feel significant. This person really needs to prove to someone else that they are important, that they are right, and that I wasn't. So the action that I had, well, I just expressed more love in my work environment. And then it actually came up with a good result. It might have taken time, but now that person who was gossiping, we actually have a really good relationship at work. So the action that I gave it, that became my result. I could have taken offense and really upset and said, why are they doing that to me? Making it about myself. It wasn't about me. It was about someone else and their insecurity. Ah, beautiful. Love it. Yes. I say that. So this is what I was getting at. What someone else thinks of us is none of our business. It's their problem. It's their issue. It's so lovely. I love that you have taught that to your children. Awesome. And yeah, gossiping, waste of time and energy. and definitely not a good example. But it happens, unfortunately. So getting back to that, what you focus on, the meaning that you give it, the emotions that you carry towards what you are focusing on, that then determines your action, whether you're going to get upset or how you're going to handle that situation. And then depending on how you handle that situation, then that is going to frame your reality, the result, the outcome. So it's important to think about, what, when we hear something, when we see something, trying to be very objective and have a think about, wow, I wonder where that's coming from. So what I'd like for you to do, just on a piece of paper, and you're doing it before, which is fantastic, create a list of your excuses. Start to make a list, okay? Just put down a few right now on a piece of paper that you can add to, because there is a method to my madness, okay? What I want for you is to have a list of the excuses that you give yourself. Now, this is going to help you know in advance what you will say or do to self-sabotage your own growth. Is it, I just don't have the time, it's not the right time, I haven't got everything ready for me to do that, I'm scared, fear. It's all about fear. Fear of the unknown. What will happen? I'm too scared. I just can't do it. I don't know what will happen. I don't know if I can do it. When you are prepared and you know what these excuses are that you feed yourself, then you can block these limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. Because it is about yourself. It's the belief system that you have for yourself. See yourself as you really are, so you know how to become the best version of you. Don't you love that? So I hope that this is totally, really resonating with you tonight. And or if you're listening to the recording, I do hope that this is really hitting home and giving you some deeper thought about how you can change your mindset, change the way you think, so that you're not self-sabotaging your life and that you are being open to all the opportunities that surround you. So what do I want for you? I want you to live without blaming an external force for those bad feelings that you have about life. I want you to have an awareness of when you are playing the role of victim. Not being a certain way, or not having something, not doing or not feeling something. It's important that we are in tune with our own thoughts and emotions. Find out what you can achieve. Determine what you want in life and act on it. Stop waiting for someone to give it to you. You are in control. You are accountable. You are responsible. And you have everything within you to give this to yourself. Beautiful. Yeah, great food for thought. Oh, lovely. Yeah, write the list so that you do have an understanding about what you are doing to yourself when these opportunities for growth come up. And yes, it's scary. But if we are self-aware of what we are currently doing, that prevents ourselves from taking these new opportunities on board, well then, we won't be overwhelmed. will have a sense of, I can do this. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to say yes to myself, and the how, well, it's just going to come. You know, I'm going to say yes to me. And when we do that, the universe, it has our back. When we are open to the possibilities, then we see abundance. Now, are you interested in living the best version of yourself after everything that I've just said? Is this something that interests you? I know it interests me. Always wanting to live the best version of myself. Now, if this is the case and you'd like me to help you and share more of how I do this, I'd be absolutely delighted. I do these webinars because I want to serve. I want to serve others. I want others to live their true life, be in touch with their true core and their true passion. And I do that in such an authentic way. Now, I know you probably attend other webinars and at the very end, they try to sell you something. I've got a little surprise for you. And if you don't mind, I will talk a little bit about what I provide, but there is a little bit of a surprise at the end for you. Courage, passion, and change. Now, this is a program that I have put together. So I have created a 3-month, 6-month, and a 9-month customized program. And in this, I walk you through how to develop your own blueprint for life, for your life. I want you to connect with your truthful self so that you're not living in a fantasy, you're not living in excuses. So you're probably thinking, well, what does courage, passion, and change, what's it going to give me? So I've broken it up into 3 insights for you. The first is that I provide up to 18 levels of access and guidance on how to live your absolute truth. Tap into your inner core, find out what really sits with you in your journey that you're on right now. I provide insights on how you can live deeper, live a deeper, more meaningful life. And I provide the pathway to live your best version of you. But once again, you know, it's not handed to you on a silver platter. You know, this takes accountability and responsibility. I'm not waving a magic wand. So naturally, if you implement everything I've just shared with you, you're going to see amazing results in your life and in your relationships. If you start to make that list of things that you tell yourself and you're totally aware of what you are doing, that's totally going to make a difference in your life. This is why, though, I do encourage you to invest in this program. Courage, passion, and change right now. Now, for as little as $149 per fortnight, that gets you started. You have me as your personal coach along the way, reaching up to those 18 levels of transformation. But you know what? Remember how I said you attend webinars and they want your money right at the very end? Well, I don't want you to join tonight. I'm telling you yes, okay, to become part of my program along with others. It's $149 a fortnight to get you started, but I don't want your money tonight. I talked about being authentic, and this is me being authentic. all I want you to do right now is to head to my website, and this is a page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type it in so it's easy for you to access. I don't think you can click on the slide. So I'll type this in. Okay, focus on coaching to success, that's my business. That will take you to the contact page. So you're probably thinking, okay, well, what do I do? What do I do on the contact page? You know, I want to make this as fantastic for you as I possibly can. And I want to make sure that you know how committed I am to your success through this program. I'm a very sincere and authentic person. I will only help those that I truly believe will benefit from my program. Now, how do I determine who I can really help? I want you to say yes to you and stop sabotaging your life today. So I put together what I believe is the best possible program for you, but I'm not asking you to join now because I want you to make sure the program is in your best interest. So remember, you might have been thinking about how you like to gather information to find out if something is a true fit for you. Well, that's what I'm suggesting. Just letting you know, though, that those who join my program, they do receive a copy of one of my favorites. I absolutely love this book. It's the first book I think I read on my journey. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. Absolutely fantastic. There it is there. So because I love helping people who are willing to participate in their own happiness, becoming part of my program, this is your bonus gift number 1, a hard copy book of Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Absolutely phenomenal read. I couldn't put it down. And what made it so easy, it was like it's written in a story format, and it was just so easy to read. But that's not all. And no, it's not a set of steak knives that you're going to get next. Bonus gift number 2, Feel the Fear and Beyond. So this is a sequel to Susan's previous book. It enables you to discover some truths. So a couple of quotes here from Susan Jeffers. If you knew you could handle anything without fear, what would you possibly have to fear? And the answer is nothing. So I feel that's really quite a deep thing to think about, that if I didn't have that fear and I just did it, well, there'd be nothing to fear at all, and I would achieve. Develop more trust in your ability to handle anything that comes your way. Know that you have everything within you to achieve your goals, to achieve those objectives that you have set for yourself. Now, by taking action now, you will have complete access to me for a free personal discovery session of 30 minutes. So this is a call that I have with you. It can be Skype. It can be over the phone. If you are in Melbourne, we can do face-to-face if you like. So I want you, this is what you need to do now. Go to that link. Let me know. Tell me that you want your free personal discovery session. And this is where we can explore what you want for yourself. What's currently happening in your life? What are your current blocks? What's been happening up to this point in your life that perhaps has stopped you from achieving? Now, the excuse that you're probably giving yourself right now, oh, I don't really have the time, or yeah, look, it's not the right time in my life right now. That's exactly the reason why you need to do this. Whatever excuse is happening in your head, the little voice telling you, that excuse that you are giving yourself right now, perhaps it's, oh, I need to gather more information. Well, this is exactly why we need to have this personal discovery session, so you can explore this and you can gather that information and you can learn that now is the right time. So what will happen is that I will contact you and make a time for you to see how I can help you get out of your own way. So now is your time. So I want you to head to, once again, there's the link for you, head to my contact page. Tell me, Karen, I want my free personal discovery session. And I'll be in contact with you. We'll set up a time. And it's purely a conversation about what's happening in your life right now. What do you feel might be stopping you? Or perhaps you don't know. But that's exactly the reason you need to do this. So I truly thank you for attending and listening tonight. If there's any questions, I'm here for the next couple of minutes. If you've got any questions, please put them in the chat box. Oh, you're welcome, Narita. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, take a look at the website, become familiar with what I do, and I am here to serve. And that invitation for the personal discovery session, please, book into that. It's a conversation, and it's only going to show you that now is the right time for you. Seize that moment, so to speak, and stop giving yourself excuses. Okay. All right. I do wish you a beautiful night and a lovely week. Beautiful. Oh, lovely. Oh, you've got your granddaughter with you. Beautiful. Okay, well, have a beautiful night. All is good. And I do have webinars every Thursday night at 7:30. So have a look at my link and, yeah, you'll see what the next one's going to be. Okay. Thank you so much for attending, and love and light to you and your family. Okay, bye for now.